All right, we're ready to continue on with Mississippi State, and we'll ask Coach Jans for some general thoughts on the game. Then we'll take your questions just for the two student athletes, and then we'll excuse them and finish up with Coach. So, Coach Jans, general thoughts?
Tough day. We're best when we get off to a really good start, and obviously we didn't. They had great energy out of the locker room, kind of punched us in the face, and then we were playing, from behind, playing uphill all night long, and we just couldn't find ourselves to legitimately get back in the game.
All right, let's take questions for Tolu. Start on the far left.
Tolu, what would you say to folks who are looking at your resume and trying to decide whether or not Mississippi State is an NCAA tournament team?
Mm-hmm. I personally say for me, I think we have a really good resume. I think we had some really good wins early in the season. Even late in the end of the season, I think we had a well-rounded season. But it's not for me to decide. It's for the guys in the panel, and we're just gonna wait till Selection Sunday. So.
Other questions? You want to have one? Go ahead. Front row.
Hey, Tolu, do you think there was any sort of fatigue that set in from yesterday having to play that extra overtime period?
Obviously it would be, but, we can't use that as an excuse. We knew that coming in. We're going to have to play multiple games back-to-back. And it's not just us doing it. It's more than one team doing that kind of thing. So, yeah, it was fatigue, but, you just got to play through it.
Did you have a question on the end right here?
Tolu, obviously you've talked all season about, you wanted to come back to have that chance to go to March Madness, and you said you feel like you guys have a pretty good resume. I guess what would it mean to you, in your last year to, have that opportunity and play at the big stage like that?
Man, it would mean the world to me. It would mean the world to me, not just myself, but my teammates, my coaches who did a tremendous job of coaching us from the start of the season to the end, and just having that great feeling that we will get in the tournament. So.
Let's get a microphone on you, okay?
How much do you think the experience of, this week with the quick turnaround and then, the non-conference play you guys had, like in Florida, can help you when you get to, the NCAA tournament and have that similar setting?
Yeah, I think it's good for us. Different environments, different types of situations, different tournaments and scenarios. We played it all. We've done it all, and I think it's going to help us. So.
All right, let's go to the middle of the front.
Tolu, you guys had 3 tough games with Alabama. You guys scored in the 60s the first 2. What did they do different defensively to kind of limit you guys on offense today?
It was a lot. They got out early, got out fast, punches in the mouth, like Coach said, early, and we was just clawing back the whole game. I think we cut it to like 11 at one point, and we just couldn't convert. So.
You have another question over? Let's go to the front row here, and then we'll catch you on the end.
Tolu, I know you've been dealing with some free throw struggles during the season, but I'm pretty sure you went perfect 8 for 8 today. So I guess just what was working well for you from the line? Did you get any sort of practice in before the game, anything like that?
Nah, I do the same routine before every game. I come out and I shoot with Keyshawn Murphy, and we just play this little game, a free throw game, and then we just do that before every game. And I guess today I was just feeling it. So, yeah.
Got time for 2 more questions. You want to go ahead and take it on the left?
Kept you guys together as a team after the rough start to SEC play, and for you individually, how were you able to be at your best over these last several weeks, 12 or so games?
Man, it's a lot. Personally, I say God. God helped me through a lot of things, even all the adversities that I've been through, and my teammates, my coaching staff. I think everybody did a great job of going back to the drawing board and just figuring out what we need to do, and I think we did a great job of doing that. We had a tough stint early on in the conference play, but I think we did a great job of overcoming all that. So,
Got time for one more? You want to take it on the end? Go ahead.
I guess to follow up on that, the way you guys have responded since that slow start, how much confidence, momentum do you feel like this program has, going into next week if you are in the NCAA tournament?
Man, it's everything. I think it's no team that we can't beat in the country, honestly. I think we got a great shot at anybody. We're going to give everybody their best bet, and I think it's going to be hard. I don't think anybody wants to play us, really. So.
All right, thank you, Tolu. You can return to the locker room. And we'll continue on with Coach Jans, raise your hand, and we'll start the questions. Let's go ahead and start right here on the end.
I guess similar to what Tolu was asked, when you look at your guys' resume and body of work from this year, do you feel like you guys deserve a spot in the NCAA tournament?
Again, it's out of our control now. That's been a mantra that we've had for a few weeks, to be honest, that we felt like we were in a position to control the outcome of being selected or not, just like you have a lot to do with the outcome of each and every game. And, now it's sit and wait. That's the situation we're in. But, yeah, I personally think that we should be selected, of course. I mean, I coach this team. I know how tough they are. We've got, I think, 8 quad 1, quad 2 wins. I think 4 of them are in the top 27 net. So we've got some higher quality wins. And the thing that I've loved about this team all year long is, we got a bunch of wins away from home. We're not one of those teams that, we have a great home court advantage, but we're not one of those teams that has just won all of them at home and then survived on the road and won one or two. We've won a bunch of games, and obviously that's where, the NCAA tournament games are played, away from your home site. And, we'll see. Time will tell. It's certainly going to be a long weekend to sit around and wait.
Okay, let's go to the far left.
Yeah, Chris, what level of fear, if any, is there with how hard do I push this team? When you do have the poor start to conference play and it's a group of guys that you don't know all that well, what's that sort of mindset like as a coach, at that time? And obviously looking back on it now, you press the right buttons, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about it locally when we were going through it, and then when we got to the other side, of how impressed I was during that time with their mental approach. That's the time when you get a new coach. In most cases, it doesn't matter if he's new or not. You start questioning everything. It's just human nature for the players to question themselves, the players to question each other, the players certainly to question a new coach and lose belief. And I didn't sense any of that when we were losing those games. We kept talking about staying the course and we'll reap the dividends later. And they did. And he coaches for 31 years. You have a lot of moments and stretches where you're really proud of your team, but that's as proud as I can remember of being for a group of guys that stuck with the process. That phrase is thrown around a lot, but when you're 1-7 in the SEC, to climb your way out of that and put yourself in position that we are in now, it's pretty impressive for these young men. It says a lot about who they are, a lot about who they're going to be when they're done playing college basketball, and I'm super proud of them.
Who has to come to the front row?
Coach, you had a chance to see Alabama 3 times, and what has impressed you with them as they have evolved, just like your team's improved tremendously since you played in the first conference game, but what is your overall impression of the Crimson Tide?
There's no shame in getting beat by Alabama. I mean, that's what I told our guys. They've got a tremendous basketball team. They got great talent. They got a great coach, a great coaching staff. There's a reason they've been ranked in the top 5, top 10 all year long. They're just so dynamic. They're so explosive. They have a lot of confidence in their system. They believe in what they're doing. It's obvious to everybody that watches them, that has a clue. I mean, they're shooting threes and getting to the rim. That's kind of what they've built their program on, and they've recruited to that system. And they're just really, really good. They're a team, in my opinion, that can obviously play with the lead, and they don't hold back. They keep doing what they do, and you would imagine that they get in tough spots that, they can get themselves back in the game because of the three-point proficiency and how many guys on the court that can shoot the ball. And then they got great rim protection. I mean, we struggled, obviously, especially early. We got the ball kind of where we wanted to, and we knew it would be difficult because of their length and the shielding that they do. It didn't matter really who it was. We just really, really had a hard time finishing at the rim, but a lot of credit needs to go to their defense and their individual players, but they're obviously a really good basketball team.
We got time for a couple more. Let's take the first one right here.
Chris, having coached NCAA tournament teams in the past, how much have you, seen with other teams, the experience from those non-conference invitationals and conference tournaments, pay off when you get to that structure of March Madness?
Yeah, it helps, just with the routine of the turnarounds, understanding, what's at stake. Certainly playing in this tournament with the stage of the SEC tournament and the lights are a little brighter. I think that helps, if you're chosen to play in the NCAA tournament. But you can't teach experience, and we've had some success with that. Obviously we played in Florida in the fall, and we beat Marquette, and we beat Utah, and Marquette is, gone to have an unbelievable season. And it goes back to what I said earlier. I mean, we've had so many really good wins, and the majority of them been away from home with some high-level teams. And if you really look at it, we got 0 bad losses. I mean, Georgia's our only Q3, Q4 loss, and you know how this goes. I mean, Georgia was playing much better then. I mean, I love Mike White, and he would tell you the same. I mean, they were playing. They just beat Auburn. It was a close game. We didn't get it done, and then their numbers dissipated, and they went from a quad 2 to a quad 3 loss. But on the road against Georgia is certainly not a bad loss.
You have a last question right on the front?
Coach, it seems like shooting struggles have kind of persisted throughout the season, and I know today that was a thing. Just what do you think wasn't working for you guys early on? Was it the defense that Alabama was, showing you guys, or just what wasn't working?
Yeah, obviously we haven't been a great shooting team, especially from 3, all year long. We've had our struggles at the free throw line as well, and I was just always hoping that we'd catch fire at some point and just change it. You as a coach, you just hope they find that rhythm and that confidence, and we shoot the ball better in practice for whatever reason than we do in games. And tonight, I don't know, I can't get inside their heads, but we struggled early finishing at the rim, and their length, their rotations were on point. We had a hard time getting off clean looks, and they've got big guys, all over the court, not just at the 4 and 5, and they give a lot of people problems with that.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.